You know, I always tell you to hide the word in your heart. I want to read you Psalm 61 out of the Message today because I read it to a client today and it sounds very nice coming out of the Message. Different than you might recognize. But there's a word in here, and I want you to use your little prophetic ear, and I want you to see if you hear what I heard. What word sticks out to you? Tell me in the comments. I'll tell you later which word it was for me. God, listen to me shout. Bend an ear to my prayer. When I'm far from anywhere, down to my last gasp, I call out, guide me up High Rock Mountain. You've always given me breathing room, a place to get away from it all, a lifetime pass to your safe house, an open invitation as your guest. You've always taken me seriously, God, made me welcome among those who know and love you. Let the days of the King add up to years and years of good rule. Set his throne in the full light of God. Post steady love and good faith as lookouts. And I'll be the poet who sings your glory and live what I sing every day. Tell me that don't sound like beat house poetry to you. David was a minister of music. Do you hear the lyricism and his love for God? Couple things stand out to me. The sentence that I love, not the word. I want you to guess the word. You've always taken me seriously, God. Made me welcome among those who knew, know, and love you. This verse reminds me of my life a lot, and it makes me reflect on a lot of things. I feel like when I met you guys here in this space, I've been a public figure since I was a young person. I started out at the Christian Broadcasting Network, and I don't know why God did that with my life. I still don't know how I got here or whatever here is. But ever since I was a child, the church accepted me so fully. And when I got older and I started to really show myself and not the version of myself that I thought that the church wanted, the church accepted me more. And I feel like what a gift that was. And not every church wants a tattooed preacher. Not every church, but I started out so young. I come from such a long line of ministers. And it was always such a gift to feel so welcome in the house of God. Whether I had on a t-shirt or a tailored 3-piece suit and heels, like I was always received. And I know a lot of you didn't have that. And when I look at my wall, at my ordinations and all these umbrellas of churches and assemblies and all of those things, I don't see a title, I see trust. And when you grow up like me in an unsafe home and then you marry into unsafety, there's something about the word trust that everybody always deemed me safe and kind. And even in churches where they really wanted people to call you pastor, it never mattered to me. When I worked with high school and college kids, and all ages at one time, and I was their pastor, I remember they never called me Pastor Brooke. They called me Mama Brooke. Some of them call me Grandmother Willow, like Pocahontas, the wise old tree. To be in your early 30s then, and I remember thinking I'm still young, but I was so honored. It made me excited to get old. I don't know who this was for tonight, but this stuck out to me so much, and God told me to tell you and add it to hide the word in your heart, even though it's a whole chapter. I challenge you just to save it to your phone, or save this video to your phone, or save it, or whatever you want to do, however you learn best. And when you need to feel close to God and like you're in a poetic space where it's romantic in a way, not in that way, but God is so romantic. When you need to feel trusted and safe, when you need to know God hears you, David's saying, I know you're going to answer me. And I'm telling you what I need. Because God, I'm not asking you for years and years to be bad. I'm asking you for years and years to rule your people well, to love them, to shepherd them, just like I did those sheep, God. I'm asking for that. And when he says, post steady love and good faith as lookouts, they're capitalized as names like they're people. Steady love and good faith. Imagine that, like angels around you or people in your corner. I called on some people today that are steady faith and good love to me, and they called on me, which I must be steady faith and good love to them. That's trust. And it's nice. And remember what David said, and be as David, after God's own heart. And all it takes is to say something as beautiful or simple in your own words. I'll be the poet who sings your glory. And I'll live what I sing every day. And even on days that you fall short of that, if you mean it every time you say it, and you still miss the mark, don't you know that God still counts as righteous because of the blood that ran down the tree? You do know that, right? I hope so. I pray that God lends an ear to your prayer. I know that he does. When you're far from anywhere, down to your last breath, I pray that God would lead you to the rock and the mount that is higher than you. And there, you will find the peace that you've been seeking. You don't gotta memorize this thing. Just hide it. And next time someone speaks it, your spirit will remember it. That's why they say hide it. It don't mean you gotta know it all perfectly. It just means that once you hear it, your spirit always remembers. I'm really proud of you for wanting to learn. You guys have grown so much in these couple years that I've known you. You're good people. That's Psalm 61. I wish you the best night. And I pray that wherever you are, you feel trusted, safe, and loved, especially by your Heavenly Father. And for what it's worth, by me too.